Hi guys, welcome in. Tammy here with Bentley Lane Creations, coming to you with today's sweet little DIY craft. These are pennant stands. These are going to hold pennants. This comes as a set of 3, as you see here, and they hold pennants in different for different holidays and seasons and things. Now you see me doing only there are 6 bottom pieces, 6 plain squares that you see me here using my Waverly antiquing wax on. The ones with the slits, there are 6 of those. You're only going to need to paint or stain 3 of each because they're going to be glued on top of one another, and you're only going to see the top pieces. So 3 squares, 3 slotted pieces, stain those up. You're going to stain just the outside of this piece and the outside of the other piece. Only one side of each one of these need to be stained or painted. I'm using my Waverly antiquing wax with a baby wipe. And so again, just one side of each. And then I decided to dry brush mine with some white acrylic paint. I'm using Crafters Collection white, and I'm just using this big brush that you see me using here. Sorry, sometimes I get out of the camera, so I apologize for that, but most of you know how to do this, and I just decided to do this so that because they are an interchangeable, they're for interchangeables, and so when I do an interchangeable piece, I like it to match, one, my decor in my home, because I'll be putting it somewhere in my home, and 2, I want it to be a neutral color. So I would either do it with the Waverly antiquing wax, maybe a black or a white, or a cream, because you want it to be able to go with your home, but you want it to be able to also match all the pieces that it will be holding. So again, these hold pennants, and you're going to see those here in a minute. But first, we're going to dry brush all the pieces that we stained. Again, one side of each, so you get 2 of each size. So you see me only doing one side of each, and then you'll have 6 of these squares here. You're only going to stain or paint 3 of those. And then so I've stained those up. I'm dry brushing those as well. Now I'm dry brushing the whole thing, even though there's stuff that's going to be glued on top of it, because you want it to look, you want it to flow. And then you are going to get 6 of these slotted pieces, but you're only going to need to paint or stain 3 of them. Now, all of your pieces come with instructions, full instructions for these on how to assemble them. These are a little bit different, but super simple. So now I'm just going to glue these together. So now you can see why we didn't have to stain or paint the other side, because they get glued together. So they make one piece. Now you see that stuff sitting there. I'm sitting something heavy on it. I suggest you set either something heavy on it or you clamp them together with something. This will allow them to fully cure as tightly together as they can be. That's what you want. And then you're going to glue the painted version on top of the plain version that you have, because remember, you have 6 of the plain squares and 6 of the slotted. Now, as you can see, these double pieces go in those slots, and then those get glued to the plain square at the bottom. This is super simple, super easy, really, really fun interchangeable pieces. Now, I went ahead and glued mine in because I will be keeping mine up all the time, but you could have glued those 2 pieces at the bottom together, and then these pieces, the tall part that holds the pennant, that could just be, you could just put those in and take them out and store them away if you wanted to. But again, I glued mine in place because I will be keeping mine up all the time. So here they are, all assembled and put together, and here's a sneak peek of some banners that go on them. How adorable!